Hello, friends. Ecovation brings to you the newspaper editorial analysis. This analysis is for Indian Express for the 27th April edition. If you are looking for the analysis of the Hindu, you can find the link for that video in description. Hello, I am Apurv Mishra. These are my credentials. You can connect to me over the Ecovation app. You can join my study group by clicking on this link. You can find this link in the description below. You can also email to me your queries at apurv@ecovation.com, and you can also connect to me over Facebook. This is the link to my Facebook profile. So now let's look at the first editorial page of today. This article is a political article not useful for you. Similarly, this article not useful to you. This article is on Yunus Khan retiring from cricket, again not useful to you. Now let's come to this editorial article. It is in the context of the Union Home Ministry taking action under the Foreign Contribution Regulation Act against PHFI, which is an NGO. So this is relevant to you in terms of your GS paper 2, the governance portion. You have a point, development processes and development industry and the role of NGOs in your syllabus. So while this article itself is not directly important to you, uh, you should know certain things which arise or which are linked in some way to this event. One of them is the key provisions of the laws which are governing NGO funding. So there are two major laws. One is the FCRA, which is being governed by Home Affairs Ministry, and the second is FEMA, which is imposed by the External Affairs Ministry. Now you should also know about NGO governance. So like there is corporate governance, there is a syllabus item on that. Similarly, NGO governance need to be as professional, and you can get a question about how NGO governance could be made professional. Similarly, you should know about NGO regulation, that how government should actually go about regulating the lakhs and lakhs of NGOs in the country. So you could get a question in your mains exam on these lines. One of them could be NGO governance needs to be on par corporate governance and strictly enforced. So discuss. Another question could be how NGO regulation could be designed that it strengthens the development role of NGO. A similar question actually came in the 2015 mains exam. So just keep preparing on these lines. Now, this is in the context of the new planning framework which has been proposed by the Niti Aayog. It is this article, although is written by an eminent economist, this article itself does not have anything of much value. Uh, let me tell you that this new planning framework is relevant to your GS paper 3 Indian economy portion. There is the first point of the syllabus, that major issues related to planning. So, what you should know in this context is what are the key provisions of the new planning framework. And there are two major provisions. One is the 3-year plans that have been proposed, and there is one long-term vision statement. So, this was in news just a few days back. If you have missed that news, just go back and read those articles and read the provisions in full detail, and keep a tab on the analysis articles which would keep coming up on the new planning framework. And while this article is not very important, you will get more articles which will give you good insight of the on the pros and cons of the new framework. So this was the first page. Now let's move to the second page. So this article by Vivek Debroy is not useful, and this is a political article, again not useful. So this article is by Praveen Swami. He's a very good columnist and expert on security matters. Uh, this article is in context of the Sukma Maoist ambush, which happened a couple of days back, and it is important for your GS paper 3 internal security portion. The point in syllabus is insurgency and terrorism. So in this article, Praveen Swami is highlighting the futility of mere brute force in counterinsurgency operations. He is bringing to light Operation Green Hunt in 2009, which was ordered by the then Home Minister P. Chidambaram, and he has brought out numbers that how it was a failure. So he is giving an analogy that such operations involving a huge force is similar to a bulldozer which is attempting to crush a fly, which is a very interesting analogy. Maybe you can use it in one of your essays or your answers if you are putting out this perspective. So it is very interesting because yesterday in Indian Express only you got an article where the columnist was favoring a better security response. So this is in slightly contrast to that article. So you should just develop a balanced opinion and create a balanced answer for your mains exam by mixing all these opinions. So coming back to this article, so what are the better ways? If just brute force is not good to for counter insurgency, while in this article Praveen Swami has not said anything, development could obviously be one better way, but there are others. So insurgency happens because there is a sense of alienation in the people. They do not feel connected to the Indian Republic. What can be done is that a sense of more democratic power can be imparted to those people by democratic decentralization. Actually, in fact, Schedule 5 and 6 of the Constitution are designed to prevent such kind of alienation, but they are not enforced in a proper manner. So, you should read up more and create better understanding about what are the issues and loopholes in the way Schedule 5 and Schedule 6 are being enforced in the country, and how it could be improved and how it could help in countering insurgency happening in various parts of the country. Another part of that is there are acts which have been which have been put in place or legislated, like the PESA, which is Panchayat Extension to Scheduled Areas, and the Forest Rights Act. These are rights based legislations, and if enforced properly, this would give a lot of power in the hands of those tribals, and the sense of alienation would be much less, and perhaps the insurgency would be much lesser. So just you should know the major provisions of these acts, and you should know what are the issues why these acts are not being enforced properly. So if you are knowing these things, you would be in a good place to write a good answer. So this was the new Indian Express for the day. If you think this video was useful to you, just like this video. If you think this video can be beneficial to your friends, share it over Facebook and WhatsApp. And if you want to get such videos every morning, then subscribe to my channel. If you want more discussions on UPSC, and if you want free mock tests and analysis of those tests, you can join my study group on Ecovation by clicking on the link. You can find the link in the description below. Thank you very much.